Hello, this is Always Movie Madness, and I'm going to be doing a movie review on Regular Show the Movie. This movie's a disappointment. It is. Because this movie had so much potential. I wanted to like this movie. But the storyline is not that interesting. It tried to be interesting, but it just does not. It had to do with time travel. It's kind of a ripoff to Endgame. It had to do with Mr. Ross, Time NATO, and it just wasn't that interesting. I mean, concept yes, but execution not really. The performances, I think for the most part everyone did a great job, but most of them were kind of underutilized in this film. J.J. Quintel, who voices Mordecai, he does a great job in this film. He does a great job at the character. You can tell he's still having fun in this movie. But the character of Mordecai is kind of a dick. He's kind of unlikable, especially that third act, which, let me just say, if this movie wanted you to hate Mordecai, it already made me hate him already. It succeeded in doing that, because when he gets mad at Rigby, it doesn't feel understandable. I mean, yeah, in the episode Meet Your Maker with the hot dogs, Mordecai had every reason to be mad at Rigby because he says, oh, Benson told us we can fry the hot dogs ourselves, even though Benson told them not to. So that was a good reason for Mordecai to kind of act like a jerk. Here, it just comes out of nowhere with no build-up. So as good as J.J. Quintel is, the writing for Mordecai could have been a lot better. William Sanders, who voices Rigby, he does a great job as well. You know, even the third act, even though the character of Rigby is kind of annoying when we get to the third act, there's one genuinely good scene with him between him and Father Time. And I thought that was a few tolerable moments of this film. It wasn't a tremendous moment, but it was okay. But again, Rigby runs off crying. It just comes out of nowhere. It's just not that interesting. Mark Hamill, forget. I like Mark Hamill as Skips, but he almost has nothing to do in this movie. There are a few moments with Skips that I did find pretty funny. Pops doesn't really do anything as much as Sam Marin tries his best at that character. He does a great job at that character. Benson is the best thing in this movie. I think even when this movie's not working, Marin still gives a great performance. One of the most memorable moments in this film occurs in the first 15 minutes. Like, where he goes like to Mordecai and Rigby. They're late as usual. They're late for work, and Benson says, and now for the thing I've been wanting to say to you two for a long time. You're fired. And that was really funny. And I wanted more scenes of him yelling, but unfortunately the movie really pulls back Benson's character to making him too family friendly. I mean, Benson is my favorite character. He's supposed to be grumpy. He's kind of like this version of a family friendly version of Christian Bale, essentially, or J.K. Simmons. But the fact that they stripped that away from him in this movie just made him kind of dull. So as much as Benson is the standout character, as much as Sam Marin does a tremendous job, sadly he's very underutilized. Let's get into the worst performance of this movie. Jason Martzoukas, who plays Mr. Ross. I fucking hate this performance. I cannot stand this character. He's just a whinier version of Kang combined with a more annoying version of the High Evolutionary. There are moments where Mr. Ross tried to be threatening, especially with this one scene involving trying to kill Mordecai with the grenade. And I'm like, I thought that was done better in Ant-Man, where Darren Cross was saying, take this silver, I'll blow your brains out and peel it off. Because Darren Cross was a lot more threatening in Ant-Man than this dumbass motherfucker who is not even memorable. And they try to make him nice in like the last 5 minutes. I'm like, wow, you're not getting any sympathy points from me. I don't feel bad for him. He doesn't have a backstory. And I think the problem is the actor they picked, because his vocal performance did not scare the shit out of me. It did not. Like, Bill Nye creeps me out as more creeps me out more as Davy Jones than this actor, and even Javier Bardem as Anton Chigurh, he gave a more creepy performance. I think they should have gotten someone like Gary Oldman, Christoph Waltz. Imagine you have the guy from Inglourious Bastards playing this time traveler. I think that would have been really funny in a dark way. Q Quad, yes, that's a weird choice, but I think that would have been a little better. I think that would have been funnier. Having Data as this evil time traveler would be really hilarious. But putting aside Jason Martzakis' horrible performance, the character is terrible. He's just this whiny ripoff of Kang. Jonathan Majors was more memorable and more fun as Kang than this guy. Not to mention, Kang was intimidating, as well as the High Evolutionary from Guardians 3. He was more menacing. But the directing by J.J. Quintel, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to make this a dark sci-fi movie. And regular show can be dark. I enjoy Skips' story. That had the saddest episode and had some dark moments. But this movie seems to take it way too far because I get what J.J. Quintel trying to do, but he should have made this like Ant-Man 3 where it's dark but there's some funny moments. Like, he really should have picked a different actor for Mr. Ross. I will say though, he does a great job of developing Mordecai and Rigby's friendship. As mean-spirited as Mordecai was in this movie, I do think the idea of putting Mordecai and Rigby's friendship to the test worked for the most part. It could have been a little better, but I think it worked for the most part. The action sequences, while not bad, they're not that good either. The opening spaceship battle is great. The hallway fight's interesting. The climax, no. The climax is a ripoff of two things. Temple of Doom's final battle with Marin, because it takes place on a bridge. And the climactic fight between Cassie and MODOK from Ant-Man 3. The difference is that MODOK was hilarious. MODOK was funny when he died. Here, they tried to do that with Mr. Ross, and it just does not work. And then at the end, they try to make him sympathetic, which again does not work because Joy Wang from Everything Everywhere All at Once was a way better villain because he felt bad for her because her mother treated her like utter shit. So you can understand her descent into madness, but with Mr. Ross, you really don't. So in conclusion, I was very much underwhelmed with this movie. I was disappointed. Aside from a few good performances and a couple decent action sequences, and a few funny moments, and a decent idea of the story, I was just disappointed in a lot of it. Especially, I think the thing that ruined this movie is the villain, Mr. Ross. He ruined it. Especially with the actor they got, Jason Martzakis. He kind of ruined this movie because, again, if it was Keo Kwan or Christoph Waltz, I would have enjoyed Mr. Ross as a villain. And I think the main thing is there's no backstory to this villain. Again, his motivation because Rigby ruined his volleyball game and that's why he wanted to destroy the universe, which is so stupid. I think Kang and the High Evolutionaries' motivations in the MCU worked better. So overall, I give Regular Show the movie a 4 out of 10. Really disappointing movie. I would say it's not as underwhelming as Avengers Age of Ultron, but it's still disappointing. So that is my movie review of Regular Show the movie. Hope you guys enjoyed.